Hello, everybody, and welcome in. Welcome to another installment of Astrology Saturday with your host with the most, Chad the Maverick. We're going to be talking about Mercury going into Gemini this week, right? So, there's been a lot going on. Last week was extremely energetic, a lot of chaotic energy. It was a lot of change that would happen very fast. We had the sun on Uranus this last Friday, right? Uranus is the planet of awakening. Uranus is the planet of evolution, right? So having this on the sun, this is going to show that there's a lot of evolution and breakthrough when it comes to the entire collective and the energy that we're going through, right? Not only that, but now we're going to have Mercury shifting into Gemini. So now it's going to be about how are we communicating these breakthroughs that we have been going through, not only as a collective, but as individuals, right? What's the difference between your story of the come up of last year to now, right? What's your story, right? These are the things that are going to start to become a part of communication, part of the everyday. This is a good time to kind of check in with the people that you want to talk to as well. Like this is upcoming Mercury and Gemini going, right? Let me make sure I pin this just so everyone can see it. But yeah, so this is like I said, Mercury enters Gemini. It's about communicating the truth, right? So one thing about this Taurus season is that there was a lot of Taurus energy going on, right? Around the full moon time frame, we had a whole stellium in Taurus. There was a lot of Taurian energy, and Taurus is the energy about security and stability. But with Uranus here, this is about flipping the security and stability on its head, right? So it's like, what are you going to do in order to bridge in a better advancement so you can gain better security? How you can gain better monetary value even, right? These are the type of things that start to go in. And a huge process of this as well is self-worth. I'm going to say this one more time. Self-worth is on the forefront because of all of this Taurus energy, right? So how worthy are you of the things that you desire? And are the things that you desire even worthy of you? This is the type of question that you need to ask as you're heading into this like Taurus energy, and we're going into the new moon. So by the next week, we'll be talking about the new moon in Taurus that's going to be happening. Speaking of, just wanted to kind of tell you all, if you haven't been aware, I am Chad the Maverick. I teach a bunch of classes here at House Intuition as well. As a matter of fact, we're going to be starting Tarot 102, which is going to be a series. So every Monday in May, we are going to be doing a tarot class and getting us basically involved with some of the more advanced parts of tarot. However, if you've never taken a tarot class before, if you've never like taken the Tarot 101, which is perfectly okay, please pull through to the Tarot 102 regardless. I end up breaking things down to an advanced level, to a beginner level. So I end up making sure that all levels are included inside of this, and you'll get something out of it no matter who you are. So please be sure to sign up for the Tarot 102 if you've ever been interested in learning tarot or learning how to read or learning how to like just know what all the cards mean, anything along the lines of that. Please be sure to sign up for that, right? Not only that, but on Wednesday, we have a class that I'm going to be doing, which is going to be honoring your ancestors through astrology, right? So we're going to be getting into the depths and a part of personal magic that a lot of people may not know that comes in through ancestry, but we'll be able to point that out and pinpoint how you can look at that through your personal astrology. So be sure to check out that class as well. It's going to be at Wednesday. So all my classes are going to be at 6 p.m. PST. They're only $10 a piece. Please go to the House Intuition website, click on the View Online Schedule, and you'll be able to see all the classes down there. And that's going to be a great time. So please be sure to pull up to that. But outside of that, right, let's get into this week, right? So now we're going into the week. Let's see what's going on. So starting off today, we have the moon in Capricorn, right? So this is a time to kind of like get the ball rolling. Whatever you've been like thinking of, whatever you've been trying to check into, please be sure that you get the ball rolling when it comes to things, right? So if you get the ball rolling, starting with this moon in Capricorn, the moon in Capricorn is going to reward you with all this different type of transformation that ends up coming out of this situation, right? So with this moon in Capricorn placement, like I just said, this is going to be making you take the chance to make the thing happen that you've been trying to aim for this entire time, right? So someone said that it was lagging a bit. I don't know if it's still lagging right now. It seems fine on my end, but I don't know if it is. But regardless, Hopefully it's not. We're still going to get through it. Uranus and Taurus energy has like these little like glitches and stuff like that. Quote unquote glitches in the matrix is because of Uranus and Taurus being on the sun, but that's a whole other thing. Regardless, the moon in Capricorn is really trying to show you where it's like this is time for you to choose and make the decision to do the thing, right? But Jupiter is at 28 degrees Aquarius today, right? Jupiter is a planet of luck. Aquarius is all about connecting to the outer world, connecting to everyone else, right? And apparently it's also Mental Health Awareness Month, right? So that's what's up. Better now? Cool. I don't know what was going on with the Wi-Fi stuff, but we still gonna go through with this and not stopping the message. The message gonna be heard. So that being said, right? Getting to the Jupiter and Aquarius portion. Jupiter and Aquarius at 28 degrees is about really starting to bridge in those relevant soul tribe, right? So bridging in the relevant soul tribe, bridging in the people that are supposed to connect with you and your higher portions, right? I think a lot of friendships and a lot of people that are like kind of coming in and coming around have to do with like a higher portion. And it doesn't necessarily mean that every person that you know is going to come to you immediately, right? But with Jupiter at 28 degrees Aquarius, be sure to pay attention to like the people that you are connecting with, because for all you know, that's that person that gives you the ticket into that network or that tribe or all those people that you've been meaning to be around. They might be your ticket there. So Jupiter in Aquarius is like putting people in situations where they're going to be interacting with others. This could even be on means of online as well. So this is a huge capability. So even if you're not out and about, this could be you just commenting on someone's thing online and then being like, hey, yo, come through to everything else. We have a whole group that does this. Everybody's real cool. Everyone's real chill. And then you find your soul tribe in the process. Not saying this is going to happen directly for everyone, but this is the type of energy that's going on with Jupiter at 28 degrees Aquarius. It's going to be going into Pisces soon, which I will be breaking down in a later live stream. But there's a lot of luck and spirituality that's going to be accentuated as this is going to be going. So please be sure to check out the rest of these live streams that I do, because I will be talking about that in depth when that gets there. But so that's just for today, right? So this is just today thus far. When I was talking about Mercury, it enters Gemini, which is what this live stream is mostly about. It's going to happen on Thursday. So just kind of want to like let you know as I break down this week. This is what we're leading up into, right? This is the in-between phase of the full moon and the new moon, right? So this is a releasing time frame. So within this upcoming week, there's a lot of releasing that needs to go on. The moon is going to be going from Capricorn right now, like it's in right now, to Aries by the time I'm in the next live stream right now. So with that being said, these are both cardinal modalities. If you've been to my astrology classes, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But this is about character and identity. And what are you letting go of your old character? And what are you going to bridge and rebirth anew with your new character by the moon and Aries portion that ends up happening? So this is something that I wanted to kind of point out and pinpoint so you can see how this is going to be affecting things, right? Getting on to the second. So let's go to second, which is going to be tomorrow. So we're going to have the moon is going to go over Pluto. Very strong transformation time frame about how are you going to accept the revival of yourself. Sounds deep, because it is. But the whole idea behind this is that Mercury trining Pluto as well. How are you going to communicate this new form of transformation? How are you going to communicate this newfound depth within, right? This depth that's happening is going to essentially make you break through. This is almost like the way I'm seeing this in a sense, right? Is that this is like the breaking out the Matrix. I just saw the Matrix recently, but this is a really good thing because personally, in my personal opinion, and this is just some stuff, when it comes to the Matrix, if you ever seen the movie, whatever, all the people that are trying to stop things are the Saturn, essentially, trying to keep the rule. And then Neo and all them are breaking through and revolutionizing, which is about Uranus, right? And Uranus is on the sun. So it's like a lot of people are breaking out of old paradigms of things that were keeping them back, of things that were like not allowing them to grow, right? And what is the Taurus season about? Growth. So it's like this is about cutting all that out. You get what I'm saying? With the moon conjunct Pluto, this is it purging that out. So it's like even if you didn't address it yet, this is the purge through of what's been holding you that does not serve you. You get what I'm saying? So it's like you could have been going through something for X amount of time, but this is going to be helping you like gain a new perspective and a new look on how you can transform the events that you went through and make a better life from it, make a better mindset from it, and moving forward, how can you do better from it, period, right? These are the things that are going to be coming up coming within like tomorrow's time frame. We also are going to have Venus doing a couple things. So Venus is going to be conjuncting Lilith, right? So the divine feminine needs to stand all the way up. Do not let nobody tell you different. Please stand in your power. Like feel all that energy going through, because with all this Venus conjuncting Lilith, it's just time for you to like really rawly and authentically feel what you feel, say what you feel, and love how you feel in this process, right? These are the things that are going to be really powerful with this Venus, because it's also making a sextile to Neptune, giving us the opportunity to bridge in the dream life and bridge in the dreams that we end up having in this process. So this is where that's going on. There is no spoon. Facts. No spoon. So with that being said, like, there's no spoon. There's nothing to stop you. You get what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing to necessarily stop you. There's nothing to hinder you anymore. What are you going to do with this, right? Are you going to continue to grow in the same direction, or are you going to be caught up in the fact that, oh man, I was stagnant for a while? No, nature continues to grow. Even in the worst conditions, even with all the pollution and all the horrible things that people do to the earth is still growing, right? The earth is still providing. The earth is still doing this. And this is what the universe is trying to show you. It's like you are always and forever abundant. You get what I'm saying? Like the Uranus is trying to shock you into the idea that you are abundant. And we're going to get to the communication factor with Mercury and Gemini in a little bit, but I need to break down this week specifically so you can see where all these things are going through. If you've been enjoying this, shouts out to you. Appreciate you being there. Please be sure to follow me, Chad the Maverick, all across the board on all social media platforms. If you want to reach out, figure things out as far as all this astrology stuff and such like that is concerned, reach out to me there. And also be sure to sign up for the classes that I was just talking about in that process, right? So let's keep it going, right? Getting into the next part, and I feel it. We in it right now. So getting into the next part, right? We're going into, this is going to be May 3rd. So we're going to have the Sun square Saturn, right? So although you might have just, quote unquote, gotten rid of and purged through a lot of these like emotions when it comes to like work-related endeavors or building your legacy type endeavors, right? Because the moon in Capricorn. Although you may have been just like working through that, the Sun square Saturn, Saturn in Aquarius as well, this is what's going to be essentially making this like breakthrough. It's a teeter-totter. It's almost like a struggle through, but then making it happen. Because the Sun is all about, quote unquote, the ego, whereas Saturn is all about the responsibility. And those things, a lot of the times, don't necessarily mesh pretty well, right? So with the Sun making this conflict here, right, it's like you have a greater duty, but it's almost like you want to just like live this normal everyday life. So I feel like for a lot of people, right, it's almost like you know that you're supposed to do something greater, but everyone's kind of trying to like almost like everyone's used to this world, right? And although you're about to break through and do greater, the people that are only used to this level cannot see what you're going to be able to create and break through, because it hasn't been done before by other people prior to you. So it's like, this is you making this breakthrough and being sure that you're able to like stand up and speak for self. Mercury is also going to be squaring Jupiter. So you might even feel a little bit crazy for being like, yeah, I can do this. You know what I'm saying? Like you might feel even like a little bit off, a little bit out of your wild, being like, man, how can I even make that happen, right? How can I even do this? But the trick behind this day, because Mercury will be at 29 degrees Taurus, the trick about this day is that you must stay in your confidence that you can make this, whatever it is that is for you, happen. Because if you can stay in the confidence and you can stay in, and Taurus is a stubborn energy. I love Taurus energy, but the reason why it's stubborn is because it's like you cannot penetrate it through regular means. You literally have to like talk through. You have to like take it slow. You have to let them digest what's going on before they even consider something else. And more than half the time, they won't even go with it. Why? Because they know that they need to stick to their gut. You get what I'm saying? So shout out to the Taurus out there. I see y'all, I understand, and I recognize y'all, because y'all get a lot of flack, but y'all have to stay in power. You know what I mean? If there was anything else, you want a Taurus to hold you down, because they're going to hold you down, period. So like this is how that ends up working. Mind you though, let's get back to the 3rd, right? So with Mercury in this 29 degrees Gemini, this is the last, 29 degrees Taurus. This is the last moments of you really like making sure that you can concrete and solidify what it is that you want to make happen, right? So solidify that thing, write it down, like do something, even like just do something that's like, I'm going to solidify This thought that I've been having over the last like few months, whatever, here's how I'm going to be launching this towards the future. And take your time with it, right? This is like you pretty much getting together, let's say like a 6-month plan for the first time. And you're like, okay, cool. So at the end of this 6 months, I'm going to do this. Take it like that. Like, you don't have to do it immediately. It doesn't have to be like tomorrow when this happens. We're not in Aries season anymore. We're not in the rush or the fire of everything else. It's not like, it's like, if you don't do it now, it's over. No. Plan it out. Take your time. Be like, yo, this is what's happening now. Here's where I want to be at then, right? And then, as a Taurus, you can confirm the stubbornness facts. I mean, it is what it is, but it's like, yo, this is how that energy ends up working. Because without Taurus energy, we wouldn't have a planet left. You get what I'm saying? Like, that is what Taurus energy is. Literally the planet Earth in a lot of ways. I know it's ruled by Venus, but I believe that the co-ruler of Taurus is actually the planet Earth itself. Whole other topic. Come through to the astrology classes. I break stuff down like that all the time. But this is just a way to like kind of see how that ends up working, right? So now that I've mentioned that, so we got to the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd so far of May. Speaking of happy May, right? Today's technically May Day, so shouts out to y'all. Shouts out to the springtime. This is the true time where the spring's starting to open. So it's like, with the spring open and all this abundance, well, we're about to enter this Mercury in Gemini, right? And Mercury in Gemini is about like season's greetings, good tidings, right? But also communicating truth, right? Communicating like what's actually going on, like communicating what's actually happening. And this is going to be a major theme coming up too, because later on Mercury in Gemini is going to go retrograde. So I will be doing things on that in a couple of weeks to show you what's going on with Mercury retrograde. I have a class on it, as a matter of fact. Mercury retrograde is going to basically be happening at the same time as an eclipse, so be sure to sign up for that class as well. It's going to be on the website. I believe it's on the 19th, but this is going to be the prep day where we're going to be talking about the 3 weeks of Mercury Gemini and then basically the month of that eclipse season that's going on. And so be sure to sign up to that. It's a survival guide, and I'll go off. I'll show you all the astrology. We'll talk about things, answer questions, all that good stuff. For any of you who've been to my classes, y'all know it's a vibe. I don't gotta explain nothing to you. Shouts out to y'all. But this is how this is going to go. So Mercury being in Gemini, back to this, right? Mercury being in Gemini is about this communication, but it's going to go retrograde later on. So Mercury in Gemini is about the communication, but it's about to go retrograde. That means you have to speak your truth, right? Speak your truth. Say the things that you need to say, right? Because everything that you're going to speak in your honesty and in your truth, when retrograde comes around, nobody can try you for what you've said. You get what I'm saying? If you speak your truth, then like nobody's going to go back during retrograde and be like, well, you said that one thing. And you'd be like, well, that's what I thought then. Like, no, like say what you got to say. You know what I'm saying? Because this truth and what you're able to break about, if anyone has to come through, like I said, retrograde is all about reviewing. So if you say something that's not your truth, retrograde will come back and be like, okay, but like, what is it though? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, in order to, I'm not going to say avoid it because it's still a planetary motion. You're not going to be able to avoid it. But in order for you to be able to maneuver this well enough, right? That's how you end up like making that adjustment. You get where I'm coming from? So that's how that's happening. Someone said that I'm lagging. So I'm going to slow down for like 2 seconds, because if I'm lagging, it's because I'm spitting a lot of info. So I'm going to just give it a second. You know, let me just... Hopefully the lag starts to go away. If it's not lagging for everybody else, my bad, but just you know, give it a second. There's a lot of info. There's a lot of information. But yeah, Taurus is about taking your time anyway, right? Take your time. I'm always fired up. So let's give it a second. You know? Cool. So hopefully the lag has stopped doing this thing. I'm gonna keep going, but let's do it. So getting from Mercury entering Gemini on the same day, the moon's going to be conjunct on Jupiter in Aquarius, right? So with the moon making its conjunction to Jupiter in Aquarius, you need to be aware that, remember earlier, I was saying that you're going to connect with people that are very tied to your energy, or they're very tied to like your vibe, or you might run into that one person that introduced you to your soul tribe that you've been looking for, or like people that are amongst your soul tribe. You get what I'm saying? This type of connectivity is going to be heightened during Mercury and Gemini. Another reason why it's so imperative to communicate your truth, right? This is from your perspective of things. The North Node is also in Gemini, the South Node is in Sagittarius. So it's like it has to be from your own personal philosophy and the things that you think. If you're saying something that's true because someone else said that thing was true, however, they have no form of like thing to not necessarily prove it. It's not Virgo, so you don't necessarily have to like prove it with like something tangible. But what I am trying to say is that it's like everyone's experience is going to be different, so the things that people say are going to be different. Therefore, you need to say what's really going on with you internally with the when it comes to this like time frame, because that's exactly what's going to attract the right people to you that are going to keep you going in your advancement, in your revolution, right? This is like you going from only knowing, let's say, house intuition because you went inside and it's like, wow, this is a great store, great place, everything's awesome. I just learned how to do this manifestation. I just used this candle for the first time. You know, like it's like the first time you're doing all that and you really enjoying it. And so you go back to get another one later and you get another one after that. And now, right, pushing this forward is like, okay, so it's all good. That I was trying to take my time because I was like, I know it's going to keep lagging. When I start going off, sometimes it lags. I know I'm going off, so it is what it is. If you've been in my class before at any given point, and have seen me literally just go off with information, you'll know that like sometimes it'll be a little off just because of the connectivity. Trust me, I know my tech stuff. Everything is fine. Just kicking the info, you know. Oh, it's not synced. Sorry about that, but regardless, hopefully that you still hear everything that's going on. But getting into, like I said, with the moon going into what day is this? This is going to be on the 4th, right? So it's going to be on May 4th. So May 4th, we have the moon making its conjunction to Jupiter in Aquarius, right? So Jupiter in Aquarius is going to be, like I said, spearheading and connecting you to those that you don't even know that you need to connect with, right? And then the moon in Pisces on the 5th is what's going to basically be like bringing you back into the spirit a little bit, right? Mind you, they were going to be heading into a new moon in Taurus basically next week. So please be sure to sign up for the new moon in Taurus class. The new moon in Taurus is going to be super critical because this is honestly, and I'm not saying this as some like gas, I'm not saying this as some kind of like whatever else. Astrologically, this is one of the like most excellent times for you to manifest things that you want to bring into your life long term. I'm going to say this one more time. The new moon in Taurus is going to be an excellent time. It will definitely cut the rug underneath you for what doesn't work out for you. Do not get me wrong. What doesn't apply to you will be swept out. However, you will be on this new path to taking what it is that you actually want. So this is something that I really want to like kind of get clear to people about this new moon in Taurus, is because like this is about the abundance. It's honestly about like the abundance of the earth in a lot of ways. And the abundance of the earth takes its time. There are crazy giant trees in nature that took over thousands of years to grow and are still growing today. Like they ain't even stopped. They've been taking their time with it. They only grow maybe like a foot or two every other year, right? But it's continuously been growing this entire time. That energy is Taurus energy. You get what I'm saying? Slow and steady wins that race. And although you've been taking it slow and steady, you can still take things slow and steady, but the communications will start to increase. So this is like you still kind of going at the same pace of these tasks in order to get things done, in order for things to look right, but you still being able to be like, hey, I have this standing base here. Let me talk about this, right? Like, hey, I have like this I think everything's fine, but it's like, hey, now we're going to keep like having these communications, right? Apparently the audio and stuff got like unsynced, so I apologize for that. Nothing I can really do about that. Like I said, sun's on Uranus, so there's a bunch of weird tech stuff going on. But it's not going to stop the message. Y'all still heard me, though. It might not have been synced, but y'all still heard me, though. But, I mean, honestly, this is really just like to guide you through the actual week as far as the like astrology and the positionings are going to be concerned, right? I'll also be posting this onto IGTV afterward. I think that will solve the lag. It might not. Hopefully it does. If not, check it out anyway. Show some love, comment, all that good stuff. Send it to a friend that you think might be able to like get and gain something from this, right? Because this is the times that we're heading into, especially with this moon and Aquarius stuff. It's like we're going to have to start really communicating and tapping into the larger collective. I need to do so as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, man, I should probably do, probably link up with some people, do some stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, this is the time frame for it. And it's really pushing forward people that are trying to live in their truth. Not people that are trying to like sprinkle things up, not people that are trying to like make sure everything looks good and everything is prim and proper and stuff. No, people that are like real to self. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's not about the flashy, it's not about the flair, it's just about like, are you being real to you? Because there's people that are doing things and you might be like, wow, this person's doing great, and like all they're doing, wow, but like they're completely pressed. They're trying to gain your attention too much, or they're trying to do something too much, and it's not a part of them. You get what I'm saying? So it's like what this is really about is trying to figure out what's a part of you and how are you going to communicate these parts of you to other people. Can you communicate something that's really entangled and really deep and complex that to somebody in a really simple format? You know what I mean? Like, can you teach rocket science to a fifth grader? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the idea behind it. But it's about taking the core principles, knowing the core principles, and then being able to communicate based off those core principles that you have grown over the last year, over the last 6 months, over the last however long you've been here on this planet thus far, right? This is how we're going to be pushing this stuff forward. To end off the week, we'll be having Venus making its trine to Pluto, and then the moon on Neptune, right? So at the end of this week, it's a real releasing once more before this new moon. So the last releasing before the new moon will be during the moon in Pisces phase. And it's about letting go and letting the universe once more before we get into next week, where we're able to take all the stuff that we've been able to release over this time frame, all the new information that we've been able to communicate with other people that resonate with us. And then how are we going to take that and move that forward into your next rendition of things as you grow stuff post new moon in Taurus that's going to last you a very long amount of time, if not like forever. You know what I'm saying? Taurus is about that permanence in a lot of ways. It's about that growth, but it's also about that permanence. Much love to y'all down in the chat and stuff like that. Appreciate it. I appreciate the love, yo. On the real, thank y'all for real. I see y'all like chiming in and like showing love, but the message just be going through, and I'm like, I want to say what's up to every one of y'all, but I'm just, I just, spirit's moving, so I got to make sure that y'all are able to understand the gravity even of these transits, why they're so appreciated. Someone said that they're late. What's up to you? It's all good. This is going to be on IGTV as well. It'll also be on my page, Chad the Maverick. I'll post it there too, just so people can see that there for any other reason, if it doesn't show up on this for any reason. But regardless, I'm going to be putting this up, IGTV, all that. I got a couple minutes left. But yeah, as you can see, this is a very powerful week that we have like coming in. This is a very powerful week of pulling up. Throat chakra, speak your truth. That is an excellent point. Came in late and then gave me some dope like last moment words, because I was like, what's the last thing that I need to tell people about this Mercury and Gemini? And you nailed it. The throat chakra, speaking your truth. If you haven't been like speaking your truth, if you haven't been like being sincere, sincerity is the key to your truth. Everyone talks about your truth. Everyone talks about, oh, this is your truth. Da, 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 da. People think it's facts or not facts. No, your truth is the sincerity of what's coming out based off of your experience. But like, it has to be sincere. So even if like if something's like of your fault, you have to be like, yo, this is of my fault. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to be true because it's sincere. Because if you're trying to push that out, it's not gonna work. If you try to push that out the wrong way, it's not gonna work in your favor. You get what I'm saying? Because like, it's not a sincerity. It's not like a true thing. Whenever something's true, it resonates, it hits, and people know. You know what I mean? Like, it's not even like deniable. They're like, yo, I felt that. You get what I'm saying? And that's the difference between the two. But once more, I appreciate you all for showing up. Throat chakra, speak your truth. Mercury and Gemini, communicating truth. all that good stuff. Like I said, this is going to be on the HOI IGTV page, so check that out. If you want to check me out about the stuff that I do, anything along the lines of that, just Chad the Maverick all across the board, all social media, all that good stuff. You'll be able to find me. And I'm trying to think of any closing remarks. Kind of drawing a blank, but sign up for the classes once more. So shout out to y'all who stayed in for this whole time. But sign up for the classes as well. Like I said, I have Tarot 102. So I do astrology, but I also have been working on the tarot. I do tarot readings and such like that as well. But definitely check out the Tarot 102 because we're going to be getting into the esoteric tarot connections. So we'll be breaking down how tarot works with like numerology and astrology and everything like that. So we'll be getting all into that stuff. Then we have the Honor Your Ancestors, which is going to be going on Cinco de Mayo, actually. So this is a good way to do that. Even if you don't necessarily celebrate Cinco de Mayo itself, it's still in the same reverence of like honoring your ancestors. So please be sure to pull up to that. And also the last part is going to be Tarot 102, the second class, where we're going to be talking about the different types of tarot spreads that you can do for other people and for yourself as well, to kind of give you different scenarios and to show you different energetic vibes when it comes to everything. But outside of that, I appreciate you all for being here. Shouts out to you all. This is the best part of my week. A lot of the times coming in and making sure that everyone knows what's going on energetically, just knowing the weather of what's about to happen. So appreciate you all for being here. Much love, and until next time, hope y'all stay beautiful, stay blessed, and stay golden. Have a great one.